Hi, this is Tina Holden. I am in Apopka, Florida, which is part of Orlando, Florida, and my goal today is to do a remake of my pitch that took place at Startup Weekend Orlando last night. It is Startup EDU Orlando, and it's being held at the Lawton Childs Presbyterian School, which is held by Ron and Christine, which are the organizers for the Startup Weekend. So I'm going to do my pitch over again, and the reason why is I bombed it. I felt like I was feeling it for the last 6 or 7 months. I was excited, but when I got there, the pitches were right after dinner. So I just feel like maybe that was part of it, because my passion and my purpose just did not feel it in my speaking, which I feel like I can speak pretty good. So I'm going to do my pitch over again, and my goal is to put my pitch out there pretending that I am building my team and everything I've learned after attending over 6 startup weekends, and this is my second EDU. I feel like I get it, so it's a twofold goal. Number one, to pitch my idea, but to remind everybody that even though something goes wrong and you don't get chosen, I'm going to leave here and go back to Startup Weekend and see if anybody needs some mentoring, because that's how I actually went through the first EDU, and I enjoyed it because I was a mentor for all 3 days. I was there Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. And all my startup weekends, which again is over 6, have always been about the creation of new business. And that is actually my nickname of one of my titles. I consider myself, E-Visionary Principal Creator. And I basically love the startup phase of a business, but after 25 plus years of being an entrepreneur, I never really realized, who I was and all the reasons, but for 26 years I spent in the wireless industry, and 18 of those years I ran a wireless retail B2B store. It was word of mouth. It was based on everything to do with no advertising, so I was very, very service-based. But it was always about the educational tie of sharing information about the wireless. Well, then the last 6.5 years, I've been a woman's newspaper publisher in print media. So long and short of it is, before I do my pitch, I wanted you to know a little bit about me, because before I went there, I realized that my vision of who I am is I am an information, educational, new business development marketer. And there is a speaker, a coach, and a consultant in me. And I feel like the inspiration, the motivation of survival of everything, because I feel like I am where I am today because of everything that I've lived and learned yesterday. And I am at a situation in my life right now where I am broker than I've ever been, but I'm happier and more on purpose than I've ever been. So when I do this pitch, this is from the heart, and this is something that's been in my belly for at least 6 or 7 months. And about 3 days ago, me and my friend Leah, it was named. And I'm usually the idea girl galore, but she helped name this. And that means that it's officially been created and given birth, because I sat down and I planned this. So here goes. The name of the company, or the name of the desired dream, is Gene You Wear. Gene You Tree. Gene You Tree. GENEU Tree. Connecting your family to your health and your health to your family. And basically this idea comes from the heart of where I've been, where I am, and where I'm going. I come from a very large family, and that family is on my dad's side more so than my mom's side. So for the last 1.5 years, almost 2 years, I've been on this journey of health and well-being, and I've been learning the priority of health, but I've also been trying to document and gather and just research that part. So in going through this journey, I have been on websites, just learning different things. I have just been a sponge, and I say I've been an investigator. So the problem and the opportunity, talking about the two at the same time, is I am 49 years old, never married, no children, and my dad was the oldest of 15 living children. And he basically had one set of twins as a sister and brother. But my mom only had a brother. And I am learning the difference between the family tree, not only on my dad's side, but my mom's side, because my mom died at 49 years old. And did I mention that I'm 49? I just turned 49. And I don't drink. I don't do any of those, the smoking, I gave that up in 1992. So about a year and a half ago, September 2011, after a year and a half before that, I was on this investigation of my health. Something wasn't right. And between not having any health insurance and walking into a clinic here and there and going through different tests, I would be asked the same questions over and over again. Every doctor I went to, every place I went to, I have a very strong holistic way of thinking. I don't like pills and all that. So all the healthcare professionals have been very, very respectful, very, very supportive in my healthcare journey. So if you look at the healthcare system where it is today, it wants to go green. So I have a very strong green initiative. And I basically have noticed that everywhere I go, even though I get copies of my records, they're all paper. I have some CDs, I have some sonograms, MRIs, different things like that. But long and short of it is, for a year and a half before I was diagnosed, I was learning about my family tree. I was asking my Aunt Susan, what's going on? And I found out that before I walked into the hospital, I had 2 cousins and 1 aunt with MS. And go figure, after 6 days being in Florida hospital, and the healthcare professionals, along with the RN that were taking care of me, I feel like when I walked in, they, from day one, from the emergency room to the end, they did the proper tests. So I think that my knowledge of certain things helped them possibly. And Florida Hospital, Altamont is where I went. They were also, tender loving care of, I always say that part of this journey is I felt like God's child. So their records, of course, are connected to some things that they do. So Florida Hospital being a big chain, I know that number one, they are automating, and I know they're trying to go green, and I know there's parts of the HIPAA. So the long and short of it is, I feel like taking this overall health of the healthcare system and connecting it to the family tree, not just the person and their immediate family, but the family tree. Because if you look at Facebook, Facebook has a section on it that they say part of the family. So then there's different things that I found that are out there that are on websites that are asking me questions. And then I am a part of a genetic testing down in Miami. So, my reasoning behind my pitch and my purpose behind my pitch and the way I speak about my pitch is it's very true to me. So if I have this joke, if you can make it work for me, you can make it work for anybody. So my call to action of people and the co-founders that I need. Yes, I'm using the word co-founders because I'm learning that after 25 plus years being an entrepreneur. I only just followed what I loved. I did it all the hard way. I self-funded it based on my sales, my marketing, my new business development, but more so the service and the education of my customers was more important because I knew the sale would come later. And I credit that to my hospitality background being a waitress many years ago. But the call to action is to find a developer programmer that number one is, into the Windows, Microsoft 365, Google world, because I know that number one, at the same time I'm figuring out this whole process of my health, it's aligning the management of different areas of opportunity here. So when I say the word serial entrepreneur, yes, I accidentally, this programmer has an opportunity that if they want to go past this with me, they can. But what I want to do is I want to focus in on this one dream. And this one dream is, again, called Gene U Tree. And I basically feel like I need a programmer and a developer that can, number one, pull that part together with me in a manageable way for not only me, the patient, but also think about the fact that when you walk into every doctor's office, every hospital, how much time and energy we can save for the people in the healthcare system. How much effort can we save and how much can we make their jobs easy when it comes to this whole concept of, wait a minute, if I can have it. The other wish list on this developer and programmer is that they will embrace not just the Android, not just the Apple, but the BlackBerry world. And yes, I do say BlackBerry because in my wireless business of 26 years, I put probably 7,000 BlackBerries on the road. And I have a BlackBerry playbook. I'm still connected. And I feel like that relaunch, rebranding, repositioning of Tina, there is a wireless person that's still there. And I'm very passionate about technology. But I'm very connected to that world of BlackBerry. But I also feel like I already put a wish list to be connected to that developer community. The second thing is to have somebody creatively that can bring the idea to punch, the creative part of social media, and just tie that in. And I'm seeing this as a website, mobile application, and everything and anything to do with my health. And I feel like, again, the goal is to take my beta of my journey and to tie it into the purpose of what it can become. And in ending on this pitch, or this salesmanship of building a co-founder, my business or my dream has never been about just me. It's always been do what I love with passion and the money will follow. So I use the word co-founder because after 2.5, almost 3 years of learning the startup community and co-founders and tech meetups and all that stuff, I realized that if you can find people that are passionate from the start, that are on purpose from the start, and if they believe in you, and I've been very blessed because I have so many people in my life that believe in me. But the one thing I've also realized is that the connection's so strong and so good that the coach in me and the consultant in me is always reversing to them instead of me. So right now, to rebuild and to reposition, but this particular dream is something that I feel so good about. I feel like the funding, I feel like the tools, the resources, and being able to go out there, and if I want to go in the Shark Tank one day, which I love the Shark Tank, I can, but I think it can be homegrown organically, and it can become true to not just me, but to many other people that have small, large, and medium-sized family trees. So again, my name is Tina Holden, and I can be reached at 407-908-8462. And my email you can use is tina@tinaholden.com. And again, 407-908-8462 and tina@tinaholden.com. And again, the concept is good. The dream is there. The vision is to make this, okay, start small, then think big, work small, and to prove it. And I feel like I have a good family that on my dad's side can be a great beta, but I also have my good friend Denise that I hope to get her, think I'm doing this in everything I do. So I have found that I believe in this so wholeheartedly that I'm going to leave here today and I'm going to go do some mentoring at Startup Orlando EDU, which again, I'm going to give my sales, my marketing, and my idea person that I am and do what I love to do, which is being an entrepreneur. But really, I love what this has done for the community, but also the economic. And in ending, I feel like, you know what? Even though I didn't get a team, I'm going to use this video on my YouTube, and you know what? I'm going to hopefully attract from wherever and hopefully find some other people that can believe in this dream with me. So again, if I missed anything, I'm sorry, but I look forward to hearing from those people, and thanks for helping make my dream become reality.